Tomorrow, Catholics around the world will say goodbye to Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI.
Here's a look at the Vatican as thousands of the faithful are gathered to pay their respects to the retired pontiff. A third day of mourning is scheduled for today. The former pope will lie in state once again at St. Peter's Basilica. On Thursday, Pope Francis will lead the funeral mass of his predecessor. Former Pope Benedict died last Saturday at the age of 95. He was the first pope to resign in 600 years.
Joining us now is Timothy Cardinal Dolan. He was named Archbishop of New York and appointed to the College of Cardinals by former Pope Benedict. He joins us now via Zoom from the Vatican City. Your Eminence, good morning. Thanks for taking a few moments for us.
Chris and Mary, good afternoon. Let me correct you. It's afternoon here in Rome. Nice to be with you. Thanks for the invitation. From the sounds of it, the Vatican's a lot better shape than the U.S. Congress.
At this point.
I tell you.
At this point. So tell us, what is it like being there right now with the Catholic community paying their last respects?
Well, for me, Chris, it's personally very sustaining and meaningful because I loved him and I got to know him somewhat. I can't claim to ever been part of an inner circle or anything, but I got to work with him on a couple of projects and be in his company one-on-one a number of times, and I had immense regard for him. You have to remember, too, that even before he became Pope, he was such an influential, towering figure because of his intellectual wattage. Heck, when I was here in Rome as a seminarian, when I was 22 years old, we were already reading his books. He was a priest back then, and he was already renowned. But then, of course, when he became Pope, the world got a chance to see that radiant scholarship and the depth of his interior life and his humility and simplicity. So for me personally, it's very meaningful to be here. It's also meaningful to see that even after almost a decade that he's not had the chair of Peter, people still love him and remember him. And the representation of martyrs from throughout the Church Universal has been very impressive.
And former Pope Benedict named you Archbishop. You were elevated to Cardinal during his tenure. Do you have any special memories of those times, those moments?
Well, the fact that he named me to this Archbishop of New York and made me a Cardinal may show that the Pope's not infallible. I don't know, but I sure have a personal sense of appreciation for that. Yeah, and because of that, Mary, there were times that I was able to be with them when I was president of the Bishops' Conference, when I would come over with my brother bishops to give an accountability of how we were doing as church law requires, just to sit with him and see his intensity and his warmth. That means a lot to me. I would have to say I most know Benedict XVI through his writings, through his books, and thanks be to God, that heritage is going to remain strong.
Cardinal, former Pope Benedict visited New York just one time back in 2008, that historic trip we all remember. Did he ever speak to you about that trip or his memories of Catholic New Yorkers?
He did. But Chris, now of course I wasn't Archbishop of New York then, and I wasn't even able to be in New York when he was visiting. But since I've been in New York, I've heard many people recall that. And what everybody seems to mention is that his visit to New York kind of cracked the caricature. He kind of had this reputation of being a bookworm, very cerebral, maybe ivory towerish. And the people saw his warmth and his embrace. They saw how excited he was to see them. And they turned out in enthusiastic numbers to greet him. So, yes, he did mention that, how he would often say how enthusiastic the welcome was. And especially would he recall St. Patrick's Cathedral when he offered Mass there and gave that magnificent talk about what a church building represents. He had fond memories of it. You bet he did.
Yeah, and I remember reporting from Yankee Stadium, and he was officiating the Mass there. And really, what a celebration. I mean, just like you mentioned, it was just this rousing applause. And he really, I understand what you were saying. That was the moment, certainly, when he was in New York. And I wanted to ask you about the funeral. This is really unprecedented, isn't it? Is it not for a pope to be presiding over a funeral Mass for a predecessor?
Is it ever, Mary? As you would know, if there's any institution in the world that really counts on precedent and tradition, it would be the Holy See. It would be the Vatican. I keep pointing over there because it's right outside my window. But and there is no precedent. The last time we did this was 7 centuries ago, and I don't know if I don't think there's many DVDs or news reports from that occasion. So they've kind of had to make it up as they go along. They've been guided, I'm told, by Pope Benedict's own wish. I mean, in his 90s, he knew that the Lord would call him soon, and he had constantly mentioned that he wanted a simple funeral. So this is not a funeral for a head of state. This is not a funeral that would be as jammed or as significant as a reigning pontiff. It is new. It's without precedent in our memory, so it's going to be interesting to see how it comes off.
Cardinal, can I ask you what you feel his legacy will be?
I think his legacy, Chris, is going to be in the intellectual realm. I've often said that Pope St. John Paul II, with whom he worked closely, spoke to the soul. Pope Francis speaks to the heart. Pope Benedict spoke to the mind. And he was a teacher, he was a professor, and a darn good one. And he would show us that faith and reason are allied. That's going to be a great legacy, because today in our contemporary world, they doubt that. They say, oh, if you got faith, you could care less about things of reason and study and the intellect and science. If you're big into science and study and education and research, you're not a person of faith. Pope Benedict was both. He was an impeccable rational thinker, but he was also a man of enduring faith. And to bring those two together, faith and reason, that's going to be a legacy that's going to illuminate us for a long time.
And Cardinal, how will you personally remember him, those times where you were in his presence?
I would remember him as kind of an intense listener. You could see the eyes, you could see, there's an old saying that comes from the Bible that before you're a teacher, you have to be a student. Before you're someone who speaks, you have to listen. That's what disciple means, one who listens. And you could see that. When we would go in to see him, we would expect that he'd be kind of lecturing us. It was just the opposite. He would sit back and ask penetrating questions and listen intently. I'll always remember that.
Cardinal, thank you very much for taking a few moments for us. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Good to be with you all. Thanks.
We greatly appreciate it. Safe travels home.
See ya. Bye-bye.
And stay with CBS News New York for continuing coverage of Pope Benedict XVI. We'll have much more before tomorrow's funeral mass.